The sun's coming out. Hey guys, it's Joe. It's the 8th of August and sun's coming out, which is great after lots and lots of rain for the last week or so. So I thought, let me take this opportunity and do a little garden tour, quick update on what's growing on in my garden. So right in front of me here is my large Domenico Toro fig tree. And unfortunately, because of the prolonged cold weather through spring, all of my Mirabelle crop were basically lost. But as you can see here, we've got main crop growing. Hopefully they'll ripen within the next few weeks or so. I'm hoping, because we've got tons of them all over the tree. I'll just show you guys my one of my graftings. This is the Spanish black grafting onto the Domenico Toro. So I'll just show you guys where the grafting is. This is the union here. It's pretty thick branch here, and as you can see, it's got more purple or reddish colour on the branches on the new growth, which is pretty cool. And we have some fruit set over here. That's main crop fruit from the Spanish black, which is grafted on the Domenico Toro. And as we go around the tree, I'll show you some more graftings. As you can see, we've got different leaves here. This is the Dalmati variety. We've got two branches here coming off from the graft, which is over here. This is I think it's a 2 to 3 year old grafting that I did here. So that's that. Now we did have a longer branch which I cut off because it was basically going too close to the ground. So I cut that off and let these two here just grow out. And then we've got another graft. If we go into the tree, we have a Smith down here. That's a young graft that I did early spring. So we've got two branches coming off from there. So that's a Smith, really healthy. And then I think we've got one more graft. If I go around, and this is the Cadota. You can see the grafting union there. And the label's starting to fade actually, so I have to sort that out before I forget what I've grafted. But that's the Cadota. So that's doing really well. So I'm hoping that my main crop will ripen on this tree. We've also had another issue with the figs this year. The leaves have been attacked by some type of worm or caterpillar that basically hides itself in webbing. So if you look here on this is my Noir de Caron, you can see how they've just messed up all the leaves and they hide under the webbing, so I've been squashing them. So if you guys know what type of creature that is, please comment below. Alright, so we'll move on into the garden and I'll show you let's go to I've got a couple of new additions here. I'm trying to grow here what am I trying to grow here now? Jujube, I think it is. No, actually miracle berry fruit. But it's taken a long time to germinate, so we'll keep an eye on that. But we do have a new miracle berry plant here, and I've just up-potted it. So hopefully we'll get a lot of new growth, healthy new growth. I can see some new growth here. So that's the miracle berry. We have a dragon fruit seedling here. And this was gifted to me by one of my subscribers, Ojo D, if I'm pronouncing it right, or Willis. So thank you, Willis, for that. And you did give me a lovely soursop seedling, and I'm sorry to say, my friend, the slugs got to the leaves. I couldn't believe it. I had it in the greenhouse and the slugs, all the snails just munched the leaves. But I'm going to take that inside and it will definitely come back. So that's a bit of a disappointment. And then over here we have two varieties of the Pakistan mulberry or Shatut mulberry. Really healthy, lots of new growth here and doing really well. Hopefully that'll fruit for me next year. Down here we have a lot of pomegranate seedlings that I've grown from seed, doing really well in the pot, and they probably need to be up potted as their roots are coming through the bottom, through the holes. But yeah, really healthy, lovely specimens here, and I'll probably plant these in my allotment or sell some. Now we've got grapefruit here. This grapefruit has had a lot of issues over the years, and I've had to cut it back considerably. And it did come back nice and healthy. And then again, because we've had so much rain, the slugs and snails have got to that. But you know, still doing okay. And then this is one of my in-ground pomegranate tree, doing really well. I've had this in the ground for at least 3 years or so, and that's doing really well. Lots of new growth. I'm going to prune the bottom growth. I don't want the bottom growth. I'll show you the trunk down there. Quite thick actually. Doing really well. Some cana. And then another pomegranate that I grew from seed. Doing really well. Nice and bushy. Now, unfortunately, my neighbour's garden next door is a jungle, and thorns and stuff are coming through the fence, so I'm going to have to deal with that. I mean, if I showed you, I'll show you a quick view. No, I won't actually, we'll leave that. But yeah, it's a jungle. Anyway, this is my finger lime, Australian finger lime. Doing really well, but as yet it hasn't fruited for me, so I'm hoping it will fruit for me next year. So that's the Australian finger lime. Really well, doing really good in the pot. Nice and thick trunk. And then we'll go to my in-ground lemon guava. Now, I grew this from a seed of one of my plants last year, and it's doing really well. And I just planted it in the ground in spring, and it has some flower buds there, so that's cool. So that's the lemon guava. Over here is my Musa SP Helens banana variety. Really healthy. Had that in the greenhouse over the winter, survived the winter, and is growing back really strong here. Look, just over the fence. And I'm pleased to say we have a couple of babies. There's one here growing up there, and one that's coming through over there. So that's cool. Nice thick stalk here. I'm really pleased. It gives my garden such a lovely tropical look. Yeah, it's really breezy today, guys. But the sun's coming out, which is cool. Okay, now I've put my larger lemon guava, which flowered for me profusely, into the greenhouse because of the rain. I'm going to take it out in the next few days, as it's forecast to be quite nice and warm and bright. But yeah, as you can see, we're starting to have a lot of fruit set here. These will soon plump up into lovely guavas all over the tree. Got some flowers here that are still opening, and the aroma is absolutely amazing. So that's pretty cool. It's really large. Loads of fruit set all over the tree. So that's cool. We have a Mexicola Grande avocado, which was basically annihilated by the slugs and snails, but as you can see, new growth here, so that's okay. We got a tomato, a couple of tomatoes which is great just to have. So I pluck them off every time I want a little, you know, something in my meal, some tomatoes in my meal. And then we have some chilies here. This is the Moruga Scorpion, ultra hot chilies, absolutely delicious. I love my spicy food. And then we have over here is another avocado. This is a Southwark. I've named it the Southwark variety because I took it from, it was a sucker coming from a large fruiting avocado tree in South London, Southwark, and that's doing really well in a pot. And then we have another chili, not doing so well over here. That's okay. All right, we'll try and get further into the greenhouse. So guys, if the video is shaky. And this is one of my white sapotes over here. And that's doing okay. Not bad. Again, slugs and snails have got to it, but hey ho. And then we have a larger one here. That's not doing too bad at all. Over here are my guava. These are tropical guava, pink guava here that I grew from seed. That's a white tropical guava from seed. All of these guava I grew from seed, and they're doing pretty good. I think this one's been damaged by the sun. And then we have in the corner of the greenhouse at the back, this is Clementine Citrus, very hardy in the ground in the greenhouse, so protected and doing really well. Lots and lots of new growth here. No fruit unfortunately, but I'm really pleased with the new growth we have. It seems to be enjoying the greenhouse environment. And then over here we have Satsuma, bit of yellowing leaves, but overall it's a pretty healthy plant. And it's in ground also, so that's great. That's the Satsuma there. All right, we'll just head out of the green. Back in the garden we have my smaller variety pineapple guava. This is the Triumph, and we had a number of flowers which have all dropped off now, but hopefully these will set fruit. They should do. I mean, I did quite a bit of hand pollinating. So that's the Triumph. And then we have a larger pineapple guava, which I don't know the variety of this one, but I had the fruit last year and it was absolutely delicious. Loads of flowers this year, and I'm really hoping through some hand pollinating that we'll get lots of fruit set. Got some flowers that are still open there, beautiful flowers. Some ones that have dropped off, hopefully they'll fruit for me. All over the tree, if you can see, we have hopefully fruit set. So that's just a quick look at the pineapple guava. Absolutely beautiful tree, quite mature now, and lots of new growth at the bottom, which I'll probably just cut away because I just want the main trunks there. And over here we have my North American custard apple, or pawpaw, Asimina triloba, and this year it has put on so much new growth. Lots of new growth here, really healthy, as you can see. And hopefully next year we'll get some fruit. I've got a graft, so this is the Prima variety, and I've grafted onto it a sunflower variety here, and there's a little, if you can see there, a little leaf coming out there, so that's basically worked. I'm really happy about that. So that's the pineapple guava. And then over here is my large olive tree. And when I say large, I mean it's large. It's very, very tall. Really healthy tree. And we have some fruit set on here also. As you can see, some fruit there. let's just grab that. There you go. So all over the tree there's actually fruit set. Now it did have tons and tons of flowers, but not all of them have set for me. But there you go. Got some olives. That's pretty cool. And then if we turn around, we have my Mirabel Plum tree. Now this year, this tree has really surprised me with the amount of fruit it has. Lots and lots of fruit. Now some of them have been attacked by caterpillars, so I'm going to chuck that. Worms or whatever they are. The plum moth actually, and they lay their eggs in the plums, but I can tell which ones have been attacked, but these are all fine here. We have them all over the tree, lots of plums, and I'll know when they're ready as they'll get a lot more yellow and a nice red blush to them. So that's the Mirabel Plum tree. And we'll just go to the back of the garden. This is my Loquat Tree. This is the Roseanne variety. Doing really well. Lots of new growth. Hoping that it will fruit for me as it will flower through the winter. And hopefully they'll fruit for me for next year. Fingers crossed. Now these are my very large persimmon trees, which they're now blended into each other. This is the Rojo Brillante right here, and to the left is my Chocolatino. Now last year I had quite a few Rojo Brillante persimmon, but this year, because of the prolonged cold weather, I can only see a few. Let me just zoom in for you guys. There's one there, if you can see the fruit there. So there's a few around. And then over here is my Jujube tree, which I did a video earlier, so you can check that out on my fruiting Jujube tree. There's another variety just there, and that's Tamarillo, which I've sort of neglected, and I might put that in the ground in the allotment at some point. Well, probably next spring, to be honest. Let me show you my in-ground avocado. This is the Ettinger. This has been in the ground, say, up to 3 years, and this is doing really well. Let me just zoom in for you guys, and you can see lots of new growth there. Really healthy tree, and it's doing really well in the ground. So that's I'm really pleased about that. It can definitely take the cold London temperatures, winter temperatures, no problem whatsoever. So that's the Ettinger avocado, a cold tolerant variety, although it won't grow true to seed, so it won't be the same, it probably won't be the same taste as the fruit itself that I ate from. It may even be better, you never know. So that's the Ettinger avocado, doing really well. Really nice to have this tropical tree in my garden in the ground. Here we have the bamboo, which protects it throughout the winter. Really tall. So that's my bamboo. And we have a fig tree at the back here. I'll go through this little jungle here, if you want to come with me. Oh, I've got a duck under here. And this is the Spanish black fig. As you can see, it's growing really tall, and there is some fruit set up there, but I'd have to climb up here to show you, which I'm not going to do, guys. But I did cut away, this had 2 trunks, and I did cut away, as you can see, the trunk here, because that was going into my persimmon trees. So guys, that's just a quick update of my garden for August. And if you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate you subscribing. Happy gardening.